Alice here, back with another spin of the Big Wheel of Birth. I am a doula, childbirth educator, and I've put all of the previous spins together in a free course for you called Birth A to Z. Grab the link below and get in. Okay, let's spin it. Okay, today we have walking. What does walking have to do with labor? Walking is a great, easy thing to do in labor, and it can be both a comfort measure and a way to help contractions strengthen and come into a pattern. So walking is a great activity to, it's almost, I think, like the next activity to go to after resting. So I think if you can in early labor, rest as long as possible. I mean, rest should be your top priority. And we have rest on the wheel that we will get to. But after resting, I love walking as an activity. And you know, as we've talked about how movement is really important in labor, and I'll link to the movement video. But movement and let's grab our pelvis. Movement, we have, as our baby is trying to make their way through the pelvis, as we've talked about before, there's also a pelvis video I'll link to. The pelvis, it has a lot of joints, and as we move, the inlet and the outlet changes shape. So though this is not a movable pelvis, we can feel our own pelvis, and as we walk, how it changes shape and how it moves around. And any ways that we can facilitate that change in our pelvis and help the baby get to where it needs to be, walking is one of those options that I really love, because first of all, there's no training needed. We don't need to see a picture of walking. We don't need to practice walking. We do it all the time. We can do it anywhere. You can actually walk outside in labor if it feels right to you and it's not too close to time to go to the hospital. You can walk inside a hospital room if you have to be on a monitor, or if you have an IV pole or anything like that. It might be a little bit different. Outside we'll have more freedom to travel more distance. Inside we will have it'll be more confined, but walking can still be done. Sometimes I've heard people say, oh, I had an IV so I couldn't go walking. That's not the case. You can actually, as long as your care team approves it, you should be able to walk even with an IV, because your support people, your partner, whoever's supporting you in labor, can move the IV pole, and even you can move it if you don't have a support team with you. So walking is definitely something that we all do it anyway, and it can be great to facilitate that change in your pelvis. Now, a couple of tips when you're walking. First of all, if you can, bring someone with you, especially if you're going to walk outside. Also, bring your water with you. So hydration is super important. Bring the water along so that you can take sips in between contractions and you don't get too far away and need some water. So bring someone and bring water with you. Now, if you are walking outside, like in a neighborhood setting, and you have access to a curb at the edge of a road, sometimes it's one strategy that you can do is walk for a little while with one foot up on the curb. It'd be hard to do that here in Seattle because there's a lot of parking on the curb, but if you have the ability, 1 foot on the curb and 1 foot off the curb, and then turn around and do the other foot. It's kind of like an asymmetrical walk. That's pretty cool that you could try in labor. And the other thing to note is, just because you're having strong contractions doesn't mean you can't walk in labor, because you can stop during the contractions. So I know we did a video on slow dancing that I'll link here, but slow dancing is a great position to pair with walking. So you go with your partner on a walk, You walk, walk, walk. When the contraction happens, you turn to your partner, lean, grab, do a little swaying, slow dance. After that contraction's over, walk, walk, walk. When the contraction happens, do the slow dance, walk, walk, walk after it's over. So it's good to kind of have that strategy ready to go so that when you're out on your walk, you don't feel panicked, like here comes a contraction, I don't have anything to lean on or what to do. Have your partner and have a plan so when you go out, you know what to do. I also probably would make sure you have some kind of phone or timer or something with you just to keep up to date with what time is it, how long you've been out, and maybe do a little timing of the contractions too. Maybe your partner can do that while you are walking. So walking is a great way to strengthen contractions in labor. It certainly is a coping technique. When we're looking for those pain management coping techniques, just moving our body and walking can be one great way to deal with the contractions, to work with the contractions. And yeah, I highly recommend it. So if you found this video helpful, give it a like, and to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want notifications of the next video. And grab that Birth A to Z course if you'd like an organized way to find all of the previous videos. Okay guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I gotta go on a walk.